This is a bit of a late reaction, but here it goes. It's 7 a.m. in the morning, and I have to make this video because I've been busy, so I've not been able to make the video. We are currently actually attending the Royal Show, so it's intense every day, 7 to 7, so I don't get time to make videos. So sorry for the inconsistency. Now, I want to talk about Zwane and why appointing Zwane as a Kaizer Chiefs coach is a big deal. I didn't greet you. Hello and welcome to Coast Nation Fan TV. I am Bilo and I'm your host. And in this channel, I like to hear your views. I respond to every comment on this channel because I want to hear what you think. So let me know down in the comment section. And also leave a like so that YouTube can spread this content to more people like you. Now let's go. There's something that details of Zwane's appointment that I don't want us to neglect. For instance, the fact that he's been given a 3-year deal. That is a huge statement on its own because what that means, it means they are not trying to experiment with Zwane, but they are actually giving him a 3-year deal. Now, of course, after 1 year, if he's underperforming, can still be fired, right? But on the side of Chiefs, that means a lot of money that they would lose if they were to fire Zwane after a year. So by tying him into a 3-year contract, it's a way of also just making sure that the club keeps to their promise of making him a coach. So that is why it's such a vital thing that you might miss Uguti. Actually giving him a 3-year deal is a big deal because usually coaches will get a year or 18 months to just, say, let's see what you can do. Then we'll extend going forward. But Zwane from the start, bam, 3 years. That's just good from Chiefs because they've not been doing such things. It's like they've been living in their own world. But it's finally good to see that the club actually has turned a corner. And one other thing is that it's Zwane and Dylan. It's not Zwane and Dylan Shepard, but it's Zwane and Dylan Shepard. You get what I'm saying? So there is a hierarchy there. There is someone that we can hold accountable. Now, this is not to say that what's happening at Sundowns or Pirates is bad, because you have Umwete, who does seem like to be the head coach, but also Roland is also called the head coach. You also have, who else? You also have Kompela as the head coach as well. So all of them are kind of responsible. So there's no one that you can finally just say, if there's something wrong, it's Mneti's decision. It was Roland's decision. And the value, as we can see by who does interviews, it might be Mneti, but on paper they're all the same. But with Zwane, it's clear from the get-go, Uguti, he's the one who will be making final decisions, assisted by Shepard. You get me? So that thing is also important to just give us someone to hold accountable, because at the end of the day, if the team is underperforming, then we need to know who's not doing a good job. Now, this is not obviously to say I don't want Chiefs to do well under Zwane. It's to say I want to know who's to hold accountable. I want to know who to give the ultimate praise to. I want to know who to criticize. I want to know, who to be behind and all that stuff. In terms of who should I support, who should I rally on, and all that stuff. And this one, we are divided as fans when it comes to really, really about Zwane. But if there's one thing that has happened is that the club has listened to what the fans, or some of the fans, if not majority of the fans, have been saying, to give us a South African coach, give us a coach who understands Kaizer Chiefs, give us a coach who's been at Kaizer Chiefs, and there couldn't have been a better candidate than Arthur Zwane. And the Kaizer Chiefs hierarchy finally just done that as well. I'm sure there's more to it, but that's part of it as well, because we've been crying over the past few years, especially after last year, give Zwane a chance. The man has clearly proven he can do something. Not as energetic as usual, man. It's 7 a.m., so I'm a bit still sleepy, if you will. And another thing, that is important in this is the involvement and the importance of Kaizer Jr. in this. Because even on Twitter, people who are on Twitter will know this, Guti, when fans tweet something like Indabagam, Uvila, when there were talks Uguti might come to Chiefs and all that stuff, and then some Kosi fans tweeted Uguta, there's no need for Villa Chiefs, and then Down Jr. retweeted that. It's a nice thing because he's played football and he understands how it's like to be there, and he also loves, I assume, or cares about what the fans have to say. And from how he speaks, Uguti, we've appointed Zwane because we want the future of Chiefs to look like this and that and that. And to also add to that fact, Uguti, Vele, he's interacting with the fans on social media. So he knows what they want. Guayana, he knows what he thinks is best for the team in a long term. As I said, about a 3-year deal. And because of that, we know if he stays as a sporting director, then more better decisions will be made because he is part and parcel of this project that is being built. So his role is huge. So shout out to Kaizer Jr. And we've been saying this over and over again. Kaizer Chiefs philosophy. I think it was also Kaizer Jr. and Zwane also said this in some post-match interview that we don't just want to win. We do want to do that. We want to win, don't get me wrong. But we also want to win the Kaizer Chiefs way. For instance, there is a team in England, Tottenham Hotspur. They have Kane who plays as a number 9, Son who plays as a winger. When they're playing against big teams, bigger teams than them, they sit deep under Conte. That's how Conte play, Antonio Conte. And then Kane just drops to collect the ball. Son stays out wide on the wing, counter. Ball gets to Kane, he plays it to Son Shaun Kumuntu, Son Shainet. Now that's wonderful to watch when that happens, the transition and then the score. But that is 5 chances they get in a match, because when you're playing a team that's playing a high line and attacking you and you are sitting deep, that means you are going to create like a few moments, but they might be sparky moments and they might be dangerous to the other team. That's how Mourinho used to beat Pep with all their position, yet Mourinho still win because they sit deep and then the chances they get, they win. Where am I going with this? I'm going to a place where I'm saying it's great when you see a result. Madrid won against Barcelona or whatnot under Mourinho, even under Ancelotti. Okay, the team won. But if the football is not great to watch, I'm fine. It's just I don't want to watch it. It's I want my team to be dominant. I want my team to boss the midfield. I want my team to boss the wings. I want my center backs to boss the strikers. Everything must be Kaizer Chiefs dominating the match, and they've been saying that thing. It's Kaizer Chiefs philosophy. We must play, we must win, but we must do it in a Kaizer Chiefs way. We mustn't do it in a very defensive and always defensive, playing on a counter. And don't get me wrong, we'll play some against some other teams. We'll have to sit deep a bit, but then during transition moments, then we have to be good enough to score. Just like we have to be good enough to score in set pieces. But our main way of playing should be dominance and dominance over and over again. And another thing is that it shows that Chiefs are prioritizing something. They did say that, They said that we are thinking long term, and also it's also about how we play. So, Njengamand, it's not about MTN8 and winning quarterfinals, 2 semifinals, and a final, 4 games, and then sucking for the rest of the season. Because a lot of people I see saying, hey, Chiefs is making a mistake, we need to win, we need to win. And some of those things are available because, going without a trophy for so long, then you start doubting the team, then you feel bad, and also the Pirates fans or Sundowns fans will not stop saying, I used to be good Team FC or whatever that they say. But the point is, it's now at a good place where we know what's more important to us. Build a structure, then from this structure, build a winning team from that winning team, build a team that will keep on winning. So Pep Guardiola said something like, the real key is winning again and again. So it's good to win a title once, but when you can win it 3 times in a row, now that means you are dangerous. That means you know what you are doing. You are not fluking anything, but you are winning, and you are continuously winning, and you know how to win. And it's that thing. But if we just try to build a team that will go bam, 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 win this month and not win the following month, you're not doing a good job. And vele there are signings that have already come to Chiefs, like Uzita Macheke. You also have Ustebe, but Ustebe he was signed a pre-contract if he's really signed. But signing Zwane, and in the manner that they did it, they actually made sure just when the transfer window opens up, then they announce Zwane as a coach. What that does, it gives assurance to the other players like Abo Ashley Dupree. So, for example, we can pay Stellenbosch their money, but for the player to be enticed with Chiefs, he must know that there's a stability. For example, it wouldn't be a good idea for a player to come to Chiefs not knowing who the head coach is. You understand? So as the transfer window starts, it's good for players who can potentially come to Chiefs to know ukuthi, okay, Chiefs has a stability, Chiefs have Zwane. And importantly, ukuthi Chiefs have a young South African coach who we've seen nurture other young talents. It's going to make it much easier to negotiate for these young players, like abadlali laba basebancane who are doing well in their teams, but they're offered ukuthi beze kwi-Chiefs. Any player would want to come to Chiefs, obviously, but if there's that added incentive, not just imali, but ukuthi you will be playing and you will be developed by this coach who has developed this player and this player who has played here. You grew up probably idolizing him. I grew up, Zwane was my role model, and at some point I ended up playing right midfield just because of Zwane. So I'm really, really happy Uguti has finally gotten this position. He deserves it. Let me know what you think about what I said, all these points. Who do you think Chiefs will bring, and who do you think will be the best signings? And what are some other things that I missed out that are important about appointing Zwane as the head coach? Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel and leave a like so that YouTube can spread it to more people like you. I'll see you on the next one.